Hello guys, it's a new day and it's a new beginning for everyone. This is Teacher M and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, let's continue the discussion about the 8 parts of speech. So last time, we already had discussed about nouns and its types, and today, what we are to focus on will be about the next part of speech, and that is called pronoun. So we are to talk about pronoun and its cases. So if you are just new to my channel, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button down below and hit on the notification bell for you to be notified for my upcoming videos. As we mentioned in the introduction, today we are to tackle about the second part of speech, and that is called pronoun. In line with that, we are to focus on its types and cases. So for our very first type or case of pronoun, we have our personal pronoun, and we are to talk about its functions. For today's subjectives, first, we have to recall about pronouns. Second, we should be able to define personal pronouns. And lastly, we should be able to use personal pronouns in sentences correctly. And as a quick recap about pronouns, as what we had last time, these replace nouns in sentences. And the main purpose is to avoid repetition to make sentences easier to understand by the readers. For our first case of pronoun, we have personal pronouns. These are words we use to simply substitute or replace the proper name of a person or a thing. And now we are to talk about personal pronoun and its functions. Alright, and for its first function in sentences, we have subjective. When we say subjective pronoun, it is a personal pronoun that functions as a subject of the verb in sentences. These are our commonly known subjective pronouns. We have I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Let's use them in sentences. First example, we have I eat exotic foods. In this sentence, guys, as you can see, who eats exotic foods? Perfect, it's I. I here is the subject or the doer of the verb eat, so it is a subjective pronoun. Next example, we have, let's read it together. 1, 2, 3, go. You really sing well. In here, who really sing well? Perfect. It's the subject you, and it is the doer of the verb sing. Do you think it is a subjective pronoun? That's perfect. Yes, it is. For our third sentence, we have this pillow is cute. As you can see, our subject is a noun, which is pillow or this pillow. So we have to change it or replace it into a pronoun, and that's gonna be our personal pronoun it. So our sentence will now become it is cute. What have you noticed? What should now be our subject in this sentence? You are right, it is our pronoun it. And since it serves as the subject of the verb is, do you think it is subjective? You were right, it is subjective. And for our fourth sentence, we have Tom accidentally killed his pet. Again, as you can see in this sentence, our subject is a noun, which is Tom, and that is a boy subject, so we have to replace it into he for boy subjects, and it will now become he accidentally killed his pet. In this sentence now, which do you think is our subject? Perfect. It's our pronoun he, and he is the doer of the verb killed, and it still functioned as subjective pronoun. Next, we have Lucy is the prettiest among the candidates. Again, as you can see, our subject in the sentence given is Lucy, which is still a noun, and she is a girl subject, so we have to replace it into a personal pronoun. She, that's for girl subject, so it will now become she is the prettiest among the candidates. Now, what have you noticed? What is now our subject in this sentence? Perfect. It's our pronoun she, and it is still the doer of the or subject of the verb is, so it still functioned as subjective, right? And for our sixth sentence, we have Faith and her friends go to the mall today. And as you can see, Faith and her friends is not merely a pronoun since we have faith as a noun, and let's make it or replace it into our personal pronoun. So what will be the pronoun for Faith and her friends? What do you think? Perfect. We have our pronoun they, so it will now become they go to the mall today. And as you have noticed, who is now the doer of the verb go? You were right. It is our personal pronoun they, so they is still the doer of the verb, so it is still subjective. And for our last given example for this function is I, together with the dancers, performed last night. So what we have to do is to change the subject I together with the dancers into a pronoun, and that's gonna be our pronoun we. So it will now become we performed last night. So who performed last night? Perfect. It's our subject we. So we here is still the doer of the verb performed, so it still functioned as a subjective pronoun. And as a quick recap of what we just had as one of the functions of personal pronoun, again, subjective pronouns are the ones doing the action in sentences, or they are considered to be the subject in sentences. Let's now have our second case of pronoun, and that is called objective. When we say objective pronouns, these are personal pronouns that are considered to be the direct and indirect object when used in sentences. It means that they are the receiver of the action in sentences. Our commonly known objective pronouns are me, us, you, him, her, and them. Let's use them in sentences. For our first example, we have my friends love me. In this sentence, who give love to me? Perfect. It's my friends. So who receives the verb? It is our pronoun me. So do you think it is objective? You were right. Next, we have my mom sacrifices a lot for us. In this sentence, guys, whom does my mom sacrifice for? You were right. It's for us. So us here receives the action sacrifices. So it still functioned as an objective pronoun. For our third example, let's read it together. 1, 2, 3, go. He really cares for you. As you can see, or as you have noticed, who cares for you in this sentence? You were right. It's our pronoun he, which functions as subjective pronoun. And whom does he care? You're right, it's our pronoun you. So you here receives the action cares. So it still functioned as an objective pronoun. Next sentence we have Mia told him not to tell a lie. In this sentence, who told him not to tell a lie? Perfect, it's Mia. And what did Mia tell him? Not to tell a lie. So him here receives the action verb told. So do you think it still functioned as an objective pronoun? You got it right. Next, our fifth sentence, we have I have given her a tight hug. In this sentence, who have given her a tight hug? It's our pronoun I, which functions as subjective. And what have I given her? A tight hug. So her here receives the action given a hug. So it is still an objective pronoun. For our last sentence, we have my dad had bought a lot of Christmas gifts for them. Who bought a lot of Christmas gifts? It's my dad. And for whom are those Christmas gifts? Perfect, it's for them. So them here is the receiver of the action bought a lot of Christmas gifts. So it still functioned as an objective pronoun. That ends our discussion for today, and please stay tuned since we will be discussing the next types or cases of pronouns to our next vlog or our next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have learned something from me today.